Thank you, gentlemen. Let's move on quickly. In the face of economic hardship in Nigeria, states and local government areas are getting increased FAAC allocation. BK, what do you make of this story? Because former Minister of National Planning and Director General of the National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies, that's Professor Abubakar Suleiman, had said that governors are Nigeria's biggest problem. So really, all right. Please go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes, please go ahead.
You know, we've been talking about this for some time. I really can't explain why some Nigerian politicians, governors especially, are selfish as they are. It is not possible for the federal government to do this alone. And for that reason, states were given 2 billion each to provide palliative grains for our people. A good number of those states have either not done it or didn't do anything close to enough. But we've seen some governors, like the governor of Yobe State, the governor of Borno State, openly come out to ease the pain of the people. Governors of the Southwest have done little or nothing. I've seen people come out to say, oh, they've shared this. Show us the videos. Let us decide whether even the sharing comes close to the quantum of money that they received. Because it's not enough to say, oh, they shared maybe some CDS, they gave some CDS a few bags of rice, and that is it. We are not interested in that. You must distribute it. I must be seen to distribute it, and you must do it well enough. That is not happening in most Nigerian states. A state came the other day, a state governor gave some cash awards to civil servants, and after that first month, they've not gone back to doing it. Such a governor will praise himself for doing something that he only did in 1 month. Now, when you look at what has been coming to these states, they are earning a lot more than they used to earn. There were months when the distributable revenue from the center did not exceed 300 billion naira. In the month of August, they got 1.1 trillion. In the month of May, it was 736 billion. 736. In July, it came to 1.89 trillion. Look at the difference between what was shared in May, 736 billion, and what was shared in July, 1.89 trillion. In the month of September, they shared 903 billion. And in November, they shared 957 billion. Governors, states now get but these states are not doing enough to cushion the effect of subsidy removal on our people. Our people are going through a lot. There's a lot of hunger in town. More and more people can't pay their children's school fees. They can barely feed their children. And Nigerians are inundated with appeals for money from every part of the country. For example, people will send me messages from northern Nigeria asking to be assisted to pay school fees. People around me too, a good number of them, who in the past didn't disturb me, are now disturbing me, asking for one money or another. And apart from that, even National Assembly members Mr. President also made money available to them to distribute grains to their constituents in December. How many of them have done that? In fact, if not for a video that went viral, we would not have known that the president actually made money available for them to supply, to distribute grains to their constituents.
Bikio,
some of them have monetized this.
Bikio, kindly hold on. Before you land with this perspective, let me quickly bring in this angle, because in the face of this debate over release of rice to members of the National Assembly, a video has surfaced in which a lawmaker confirmed they received truckloads of rice. So I'd like us to hear from him.
I want to appreciate President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for deeming it fit to give all the members of the House of Representatives palliative grains. So here you have 2 trailers of rice. Here is another one. There is 2 trailers of rice here. This is 400 bags. Can you see the rest? All in all, we have 4 trailer load of rice. That is 600. That is 6 times 4, 2,400 bags of rice.
There you have it. Bikio, now you can go on.
Yes, that lawmaker was full of praise for the president. I don't know if we captured that area, showing clearly that the gift came from presidential quarters. But the question I'm asking is, how come we are reluctant to help our people who are in need? How come governors are behaving like they never got a dime from the federal government to provide palliative grains to the people? Some governors have not distributed 1 grain of rice. That is a fact. So why should governors be behaving like this? In future, I will expect that these governors, whichever way the president wants to do it, he has to find a way to bypass crooked governors who will get allocated rice but will not distribute to their people. Or governors who have no register of the most vulnerable of our people. And so they just take these grains and share these grains the way they like. It is meant for the most vulnerable in our communities. So you can see that they are earning far more than they used to earn. There are some governors or some states that are now earning 3 times what they used to earn some months back. Yet, they are refusing to set aside money to cushion the pains that our people are going through as a result of the removal of subsidy, which has worsened inflation, especially food inflation. So something has to give. Governors must come together and share notes about how they can do this so as to ease the pain on our people. Mr. President needs to call these governors and ask them how far they have gone with distributing these grains to their people. That has to happen. And governors who are not known to have distributed at all, the security agencies should be in position to monitor them. The DSS, the police, they should know. If a governor simply collected the money and refused to distribute, you have to use the money for the purpose it is meant. Not simply to take the money and divert it to something else. That is criminal. So something must give. Our people can't continue to suffer when the means of easing their pain to an extent has already been provided.
All right, Bikio, I'll get back to you. But as a core, is it really practicable or realistic to bypass these governors in situations like this?
Well, if it comes to that, if it comes to, this point, for the president, it has to find a way. There's nothing as annoying as this particular topic. Honestly, because if you look at it, back then, we used to see that governors would be complaining, they don't have money to do this, to do that. But now they've been getting money like never before, including the local government areas. So if, for instance, when we are in school, they say, local government is the only government that is closer to the people. Is your local government closer to you? So if your local government is closer to you, are you telling me that this December, my local government chairman cannot come and knock at my door, even councillor, let me even use councillor, knock at my door and say, Happy New Year or Merry Christmas. Okay, this is 1 bag of rice and oil and this for you and your family. It never happened. Yet they collected billions of naira. There's no local government in Nigeria that got anything in the past 9 months, if not 10 months, less than 1 trillion. If you calculate it from then to now, no, none of them had anything less than 500 million. But yet, Nigerians are hungry. And that is why you can see anger in the land. Because everybody is saying it's federal government, it's federal government, it's federal government. But nobody is talking about the state government and the local government. Because the federal government will send money to them, and yet they cannot even send things to ordinary food for people to eat. If you go outside, people are hungry. Why are people hungry? Because even the councillors are not giving people food. The local government chairman are eating, they are fat now. If you see some those who were lean before, they are all of them now with big tummies.
Buying houses.
They are buying houses abroad, everywhere.
Yes.
Most of them have estate. Local government chairman, no. I'm not talking about state, because those ones are the money they are having now is out of the blues now. But the local government chairman having 5-point-something trillion in 9 months, and yet you cannot even reduce the pain of people is a problem. We see on TV, Borno State Governor, he will line rice, line clothes,
full bag.
I'm not talking about 2 derica of rice that they are bringing.
Full bag, 50 kg.
I'm not talking about, because even churches and mosques can even give all the things that our state governors are giving in the south. Churches are doing even far better than what the state governors are doing. But in the north, you will see Governor Zulu, bags of rice, not once, not twice. In Yobe, the same thing. So what is our own governors in the south? What are they doing with our money? I don't even want to talk about those in the south. Because those ones collect money, they will collect 13% derivation, collect ecological funds, yet where is the money? So it's quite annoying that our people are still hungry. Biko is talking about people calling you for money. It's true. When once people know that you have a stable job, they will call you, they will definitely call you for money. But they don't even know what you're also going through. But you just have to assist.
That's it.
One way or the other. It's quite annoying that our governors are not seeing this. They don't know that this is a time bomb. They think that because they have all the DSS following them, police following them, that one day people will not line the street and stop them on the road. It will happen. But we are praying that it should not happen.
So how else can we hold these governors accountable? Because they seem to be getting away with a lot. And it's more ridiculous because the federal government takes the blame for every of this.
I will blame the federal government. I'll blame the federal government for encouraging the delinquency of state governors. You know, Nigerians have this fixation that all problems begin and end with Abuja. Mm-hmm. Why? Because of the way, for years, that military, that centralized, command structure. So you know that everything, all benefits and everything flows from Abuja. And so people easily forget that they have governors and local government chairmen. As a matter of fact, the federal government gets 52.68% of monthly allocation. The states get 26.72%. Local governments get 20.60%. And in almost all the 36 states, the governors have hijacked local government allocation.
Exactly.
So what we're saying is
they are eating twice.
The governors are holding 47.
That's why you might not really have to blame the local government chairman.
No, I'm coming
even
to that.
that one, self, even that small money. Do you know how much?
The governors control 47.32% of allocation. That is from state and local government. These people are simply wicked. They're just simply heartless. Because let me tell you something. I keep saying I've traveled around many parts of this country. Nigeria has no reason to be poor.
Exactly.
When you talk about poverty, you see, the United Nations in 2015, they developed the Sustainable Development Goals. 17 goals with 169 associated targets. Now, what is the first goal? It says end poverty. The second goal, zero hunger. And you know what? This thing is a blueprint. Because much work was done on this thing by various governments across the world. So if a governor says he doesn't know how he can destroy poverty, but poverty can be destroyed. How he can dismantle poverty, eradicate poverty, he has the SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals. Take that blueprint, sit down, look at it. It's not only we talk about, because the federal government removed fuel subsidy, then they hide under it. No, there are certain measures you can take to, first of all, make sure that people have access to jobs, access to education, access to healthcare. There is no gender bias. And then there's equality in access to facilities from government. Because the state and local government also collect more taxes and levies than the federal government. So I think the federal government should now start to let everybody answer their father's name. Responsibilities that should be for the state and the local governments, the federal government should remove his hands. But the situation where you see the federal government talking about, we are going to fund a tomato farming in one remote local government somewhere. We are going to build some schools here. We are going to build here. So everybody thinks that basically we are running a kind of a caretaker, system of government whereby the federal government is a caretaker. So everybody can go and relax. And it's not supposed to be that way. States can actually dismantle poverty. I say it again and again because Nigeria was a signatory to these SDGs. So Nigeria actually said, yes, we are committed to ending poverty and ensuring zero hunger. It's not about distributing bags of rice to people. To me, that's even demeaning. You're demeaning people. People who are productive, all they need is jobs. Yes. They want jobs. They want to go and work. Is it not the same Nigerians who travel abroad and they do 2 jobs, 3 jobs? Exactly. Some cannot even get one job that makes sense. Local governments actually, you cannot even get water supply. They can't reticulate water to homes, which is supposed to be a responsibility of local governments. But these people are not ashamed that this basic responsibility is not available. So people have to go and buy water from tankers. You see these potters, these water potters, carrying jerrycans of water, even in highbrow areas. And I say this is shameful. We must have a sense of shame.
Bikio, your final take on this before we wrap up. Quickly.
I was listening to Emeka. I thought he would explain deeply why he said he would blame the federal government for what has happened. If the states didn't think that they needed to lead the way, and the federal government decided to lead the way, and the federal government made money available, and the state chose not to distribute grains, then something is wrong. Even the World Bank recommends conditional cash transfer to the most vulnerable of our people, because the world needs to defeat hunger. Food security is crucial. Across the world, there is concern that in Nigeria, especially in 2024, that millions of our people will not have food to eat. Now, governors have been told what to do. You can imagine a state like Yobe. The governor is even taking distribution of food packs, including 10 kg bags of rice, to tertiary institutions. And in doing this, they are not bothered about your religion, your ethnicity. There is a long list, a roster that is being followed to take food packs to the various tertiary institutions. And they are taking it to communities. We are not seeing that happening. And we know money has been received. We know that each state got 2 billion naira. I don't see how anybody can explain away what these governors are doing to our people. Is it because they have immunity?
They have said,
but immunity won't be there forever. You've got to do the needful. Our people are going through a lot. We hope that things will improve, especially in this new year. But before we get to that, we need to ease the pain of our people. There are various ways by which we can do it. Transportation costs. Governors must play their part in bringing down transportation costs. Ogun State, for example, was among the first to go for CNG. Now they've realized that they need to buy smaller vehicles because our people are impatient to line up and enter those luxury buses that the state government bought. The fares are low, but the people are in a hurry.
All right, BK.
So government of Ogun State needs to now buy smaller vehicles so that the people can use them and the fares will be lower. That's part of easing the pain. They need to do this a lot more.
And we hope they listen. All right, let's move on to a final discussion for today. It appears that